Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our session today on Botswana. My name is Michael, and I am one of the reps here for Exotic Journeys. Thank you so much for joining us today for our special series of seminars focusing on Exotic Journeys destinations and our partners, and of course, in celebrating our 45th milestone anniversary with us this year. So with that said, I'm going to first start off by introducing some of our special guests from Exotic. First off, we have our director at Exotic, Christine. Hello, Christine.
Hello, welcome everyone.
And we also have one of our product managers for Africa, Eva. Hello, Eva.
Hi, I thank you for attending, everybody. You're very welcome. And today to present my favorite destination for safari, Botswana, we have with us Andrea Hugo. Andrea, you can start your presentation.
Great, thank you, Eva, and thanks to Exotic for having me today. I'm delighted to be speaking to you about the wonderful destination of Botswana. And just to give you an idea of where it is, it's a landlocked country in southern Africa, and the country consists largely of a desert and a delta, and hence the name of the company that I represent, Desert and Delta Safaris. The land is largely flat. There are a couple of hills here and there, but generally speaking, as you see in the photo, it's very flat, landlocked country. In terms of the seasons in Botswana, it gets a little confusing, but I'll try and make it as simple as I can. So the peak season to visit Botswana is May through to October. And during that time, the flood waters in the delta are high, the rainfall is low. So it's the best time to go because there's minimal rainfall, but the water in the delta is high. In terms of our seasons, and of course the price varies according to the season you travel, the green season is December to March, and that's where we get quite a lot of our rainfall. April to June and November is our shoulder season, which is a lovely time to visit. And of course, the peak season is a great time when you have dry vegetation and the animals focused around the water. Just one quick thing on the green season, we do have all the births of the impala and wildebeest and so on. So if you're a keen photographer, it's beautifully green. And of course, you get all the babies in your shots. So don't totally discard that season. It is a beautiful time to go there. And it's not torrential rainfall. It is rain, but you can work around it. So don't discard that season at all. Just in terms of how to get there, there are a number of ways you can get to Botswana, and this is the country here. There are mostly flights from Johannesburg straight into Maun, which is the gateway into Botswana. There's also a flight from Johannesburg up to Kasane, which is the northern part of Botswana, and a great way to get there too. We also have flights from Cape Town in South Africa straight into Maun. And then, of course, we have transfers from Victoria Falls to Kasane by road, and Livingstone, which is on the Zambian side of the Victoria Falls, into Kasane. So many different ways of getting into Botswana, and a great destination to do in its entirety on its own, in combination with the Victoria Falls, or in combination with South Africa. Just in terms of the country, it is a small population. It's only 2.5 million people. So very sparsely populated, a well-educated population. It's roughly the size of France, just to give you an idea. And the nationality are Botswana, and the language is largely Setswana. But the people of Botswana are fluent in English as well, so there's no problem in terms of communicating. The currency is called the pula, and in fact, rain is also called pula, just out of interest. So that's quite an interesting aspect of the word. Then we, in terms of the economy, it's quite interesting in that when Botswana became independent, they had not discovered diamonds and they had no tourism. And when Sir Seretse Khama, who was the first president of Botswana, became president, he realized that he had to develop something in the country in order for the country to really flourish. And he decided to look at low impact tourism, which in high value. In other words, he'd like to charge a little more, but have very few people traveling in the different areas of Botswana. And they introduced this soon after he became president. And I think if any of you have traveled there or you're planning to travel there, you'll see that it's a country where you will not see 10 other vehicles on any sighting. You'll be lucky if you see 2, maybe 3. So that's a big advantage in that you'll get an unspoiled kind of link with nature in Botswana. So Botswana is a democratic republic, and the capital is Gaborone, a city which you probably won't visit as a tourist. And it's had independence since 1966. And luckily for Botswana as well, soon after independence, they discovered diamonds there. So not only do they have great tourism, but they also have a great diamond industry. So that was really lucky for them, from one of the poorest countries in Africa to actually one of the richest countries in Africa right now. So that is the Botswana flag there. So blue and black with a little white. Just in terms of why do you want to go to Botswana? It certainly is a top wildlife destination. Elephants galore. If you go to the Chobe area, you just see wonderful numbers of elephant. The Okavango Delta is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and just a magnificent natural phenomenon. The animals move freely in the country, very low impact tourism, as I told you, so not a lot of people, great photographic opportunities, and very peaceful country. They've never known war. So we have a number of national parks throughout the country, and I'm not going to go into detail in any of them, but we have the Chobe area up here, we have Moremi down here, we have the Okavango Delta, the Kgalagadi, which is off the map down here, Makgadikgadi, which is over here, and I know these names are really unpronounceable, but the team at Exotic will help you with that. So lots of different national park areas for you to visit, and really depending on the time of the year, what you're interested in, what your focus is, will depend on the selection that you make. So great fly-in packages with Safari Air, which is our airline that we use, small, unique properties. The people are so friendly and welcoming. And then special experiences like this star bed that you can enjoy one night right out there under the stars in the middle of the African bush. Just wonderful. Whole different lot of variety of activities, obviously game drives, what we call makoroing, which is canoeing, boating, and then of course walking as well. So our lodges are scattered all throughout Botswana. We have a wide variety. So if you do a combination of, say, 3 properties in your safari, you'll have covered some of the areas and you'll certainly get to experience great game viewing. Chobe National Park really is a highlight in Botswana, and the Chobe waterfront area is just beautiful, where you get to see the elephants actually snorkeling, oh, sorry about that, snorkeling across the Chobe River, which is just incredible to see. And particularly around July and August is when you'll see those elephants crossing the river. Our lodge there, Chobe Game Lodge, beautiful accommodations with views out over the Chobe River. And it's, of course, from there that you get to see all these remarkable wildlife sightings. Chobe Savanna, another of our properties, a smaller lodge, and again, great game viewing. As you can see, the elephants right there in front of the lodge. At Chobe Game Lodge, you can do game drives and boating. And at Chobe Savannah, we do boating, obviously photographic opportunities, and walking at Chobe Savannah. Savuti region is the most incredible big game viewing experience. And many documentaries have been filmed in this area, and certainly never disappoints. So lots of lion, leopard. We actually have a fishing leopard there who fishes for barbel. So quite a fun thing to see. Great big game viewing at Savuti, and our lodge there is Savuti Safari Lodge. And the main focus at Savuti is game drive. So you'll go out in the morning and in the afternoon, and just to see as much of the wildlife as you possibly can. Then we move on to the Okavango Delta. This is what it looks like from the air. And when you fly into the Delta, you'll see this look, which is quite amazing, with the waterways and then the land interspersed between it. The Delta experience is wonderful. As I said, you do canoeing there, walking, boating, and our lodges there are Camp Okavango, a beautiful lodge, fairly recently rebuilt, 12 rooms only. So as I said, a very low impact on the environment. And then we have another lodge, Kugana Island Lodge, which is even smaller, only has 8 rooms, and just beautiful view out over the open water there. The game activities in this area are boating again, makoroing, which is in the canoes, walking, and there's never anything quite like a sundowner finished up after your beautiful day in the bush. We have a property near the Cedillo Hills, which is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it's in these hills that you'll see the Bushman rock art. And so in this area, we do a lot of bird watching. There's great fishing. There's a wonderful experience to visit the local community, obviously the rock art, and then, you know, a nice lunch just set up on the banks of the river. Our camp there is called Namasiri. Just for those of you who are interested, you don't pronounce the X in that word, just to help you out a little bit. And where you do pronounce the X in some of the names, you say it as a K. So maybe that'll help. But I know some of them look unpronounceable, but that's Namasiri. There are a lot of different experiences there: fishing, watching this magnificent fish eagle, walking, and then, as I said, visiting the rock art at the Cedillo Hills. Then on to Maremi, and Maremi again has great big game viewing, and I would definitely encourage a visit to this area. And at the Maremi, we do game viewing and boating. So both of those two experiences. And really, leopard sightings here are great because we have big trees in this area. And of course, the leopards love the trees. So, and our camps there, Camp Maremi, which is again newly built, beautiful, big, spacious rooms, and just great access straight into the park. And then Camp Kakanika is more traditional in style, a tented camp. And in fact, one of the favorites of our guests visiting Botswana. The activities in the area, we do boating, as I said, game driving, and then of course we never forget about the kids. They learn how to cook, they learn how to be little game guides, so they have a blast. And then on to Makgadikgadi Pans National Park. This is an incredible area for the zebra migration. And the zebra migration happens in our area around June, July, August, September time. And you literally have thousands of zebra coming down to the river to drink. It really is quite a phenomenon and an amazing experience. So not only do you get zebra here, you get lots of other game, elephant, lion, plains game, many different species. But the zebra during that time are really quite incredible to see. What we also do from Lerou-le-Tau, which is our camp in this area, is we do a day trip out to Naipan, where you can see these incredible Baines baobabs, really beautiful trees. They look like they're upside down and the roots are up in the sky. So if you stay 3 nights at our camp, you get to do this day trip. And then also you have an option of, if you stay at this camp for 3 nights, you can go out and do a sleep out on the pans. And literally you stay out here in the middle of nowhere overnight, you sleep out under the stars, and literally the sky is just ablaze with stars. It's absolutely magnificent. So that is an option for you to do from Lerou-le-Tau. If you don't want to do either, you don't have to, but those are options available to our clients. And this is the camp, again, beautiful camp. Your room here situated looking out over the Boteti River. The rooms have this lovely deck out in front of them. So when you do have the zebra migration in that area, you can open your door and literally hear them drinking and galloping off into the distance after they've had their water. The experiences at Lerou are very varied. We do open vehicle game drives. We do lovely sundowners on the side of the banks of the river. We do boating when the river's flowing. And then you can also go and visit the local village. So lots of different options at Lerou-le-Tau. And those are our camps, but I just wanted to touch briefly on our cares philosophy, because I think it's important, especially for our travelers that, feel like they want to know that the properties that Exotic support are ones that also support their people, their wildlife, and their community. So we do create wonderful opportunities for our staff to progress within the company. And in fact, our managing director now, just so you know, started off as a groundsman at one of our camps in the Delta. So he moved all the way from being a groundsman, basically watering the garden, to being the managing director of the company. We also have a great health care program for our staff and for their families in their villages, which we feel very strongly about, and we have a dedicated doctor doing that. We also have a great responsibility to our environment. We have a specific package called a rhino package, and a percentage of that is contributed to the protection of the rhinos. I'm just touching on a couple of things just so that you get a sense. Also equality in the workplace. We have just as many women managers as we have men. We also have women game rangers at Chobe Game Lodge. And the reason only at Chobe Game Lodge is because they are close to their families in the town of Kusani. At the camps, it's just too far and they can't be home in the evenings for their families. So just a couple of things for you to know about our staff program and our wellness program and so on. And then just to finish off, we have a great package with Exotic, 8 nights, 3 camps at a fantastic rate. So don't hesitate to contact them and sell this really, truly magical destination. And that's my presentation, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Andrea, for sharing all that great information with us. Botswana is another destination in Africa that everyone should clearly have on their dream vacation list. It has so much to offer when it comes to giving you that true African experience, as you can see. But again, thank you so much, Andrea, for joining us today. And we hope that everyone watching found it very informative and that you're ready to plan your next trip to Botswana with us here at Exotic Journeys. Thank you again. Have a great day. And please be sure to sign up for our following sessions. This week and next week, there are still quite a few happening. Visit us at exotictours.com to register today. Thank you again, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.